So for a long time, this business lost money. Again, it was a bit of a value add to an existing business. So it was losing money each month, which adds up. You know, you can only sustain that for a little while. And I sort of reached a point where I couldn't keep losing money. You know, I didn't have the money to keep tipping into this and to keep paying the staff. I knew that we had a good service and we had clients that enjoyed the service, but you know, we were losing money. I couldn't convince other clients to try us. So I actually reached a point where I wrote a letter to the 2 staff members we had, letting them know that we were closing down, that we couldn't afford to keep going.
That's not an easy thing to do.
It's not. It's not. You know, and I decided after 24 hours of sitting on it that you know, we had a great team, small team, but very passionate about what we do, and you know, I didn't want to let them down as well. So you know, I decided to regroup and have another go, and you know, dedicate more time and energy, and you know, find a bit more money to tip into this, and I knew that you know, if I gave it another 6 to 12 months of just pushing, that we'd get there.
Yeah. So at that particular point, what could have been, or what do you consider upon reflection? Because reflection is very important.
Sure.
I know it's you know, it's one of those things when you believe in something and it's about to be broken, you've got to have the emotional, I guess, impact of that too, just to ensure that it's real. But what was holding you back then, Gavin, in real terms? In real terms, look, it was probably lack of direction. You know, I left. I'd always worked in environments where we were budget driven and we had sales targets to reach, and I really thrived in that environment. And one of the first things I did when I left, I guess, the corporate or the employed world, you know, was I sort of threw my hands up and celebrated that I have no more budgets. You know, there's no one going to say to me that, hey, you have to achieve this or you have to do that. But in doing so, you know, you take your foot off the pedal. So I was very busy being busy, but I wasn't actually getting anywhere with it. So I think that to a large degree was sort of holding that there was no accountability of, you know, I knew I was busy and I knew obviously I want to get to over here, but there was no plan in place. There was no accountability of you must be here by this point, and then, you know, a week later, a month later, a day later, you must be at this point. So that's what I was missing, treading water to a large degree. So what did you do to change that?
I had a conversation with Stefan. I've known Stefan for a long time, so you know, I've known a lot of Stefan's clients over the years. I've referred a lot of people to Stefan who've got some great results. And I was actually saying to Damien earlier, it was a case of looking at some of the clients that I know that Stefan works with, some of the results they're getting, and thinking, you know, I've known this guy for 7, 8 years now. Why are we not having those conversations? You know, we catch up, we talk about business, we talk about markets, we talk about different things, but you know, I want some of that success. You know, and I know that it's down to the accountability and the things that they're learning. And I thought it's probably time that I crossed that divide and, you know, and sat in the room and actually got some coaching, which was, you know, not an easy bridge to cross, but one I knew I needed to make. You know.